typically what I do in these fast look videos, I draft up like a little bit of notes, almost like a cute little script or something. I got a plan. I try to insert a couple of things to keep you guys on your toes. But with NASCAR 2025's release on the PC, there's so many things that I want to condense in like the first thoughts I have on this for the first few hours that I got a chance to play this. That I'm just gonna go completely off the cuff here. We're gonna throw at the script, starting with the fact that I have been waiting a month for this to release on PC, like a couple of other folks have. I've seen online talking about. I didn't want to go ahead with the console. Obviously, this being a racing game, a NASCAR game developed by iRacing, I wanted to make sure to play it on my PC with my nice race rig. So I waited, and finally the launch came out on PC, and I gotta say, there's been a lot of people that have been dogpiling on this release, and I have to add a little bit more fuel to that fire because not everything that I have to say about this is positive. In fact, I'd probably say it's overwhelmingly negative. Right out the gate, I absolutely destroyed my stream. If you guys were checking that out, it was a disaster. I actually thought the game and the frustrations of trying to set it up led my wheel to get bricked. My direct drive wheelbase suddenly stopped working and I had to troubleshoot that. But in general, NASCAR 25 had such a crappy start. For me personally, setting it up was really difficult. I think on PC, there's specific problems that like don't make sense that you wouldn't expect from a PC game. I just could not map the right bumper on my wheel to actually move the tab in the menu from left to right to right to left. I immediately had to start the game not actually being able to set anything up. I thought the issue was maybe my wheel. When I tried to use a standard gamepad, the same thing happened. I couldn't use the right button to the right shoulder button or the left shoulder button to scroll through the menus. It was a nightmare. How can you start off a racing game and not be able to set up things like your wheel, your controls, your settings? I was so frustrated. It honestly tempted me because Steam does a if you play less than like an hour or something, you could still refund the game. I was tempted to just do that, cut my losses, and go home. But I thought a couple of things. Maybe it would get better, maybe something else. I finally found a fix to that, and I'm happy to say that that's no longer an issue. But the fact that this tiny thing was a problem for me makes me almost believe like the PC version of this is just a port of the console version. The console version is supposed to be the inferior version. The PC usually has the best version of the game, and yet I can't help but think that this Steam launch had been quite a bit botched. More things that bother me. The force feedback in this is like non-existent. I mean, you have so little control over your wheel and there's so little feedback that it feels to me like you might as well just be playing this with a controller. And I hate to say that because this is something I absolutely want to play with an awesome sim rig, full FPS, full graphics, full force feedback on the PC, but I'm just not getting that experience. You know, granted, it's only been a couple of days, but I'm really not liking the experience overall with NASCAR 25 on PC. And feedback is important. And not only is feedback important, but so is the way that the cars handle. So I think an important thing has to be said is that iRacing definitely did not translate their years of perfecting motorsport car performance into this title. Even the fact that they have great NASCAR race sim experience available already in the standalone base iRacing subscription service that's been around for decades and decades. They've perfected this, and yet there's so many little things that I keep trying to do. I want to do it in the road courses. I want to utilize some of these techniques that I've developed over time for specifically NASCAR stock car racing on ovals. It just doesn't work. Whenever I have braking zones, I don't really feel confident that I'm gonna hit that slower speed that I'm looking to hit before I hit the chicane or whatever. on ovals. Let's say somebody bumps you in the right rear quarter panel, or you just get a little bit loose. It feels like there's absolutely no recovery. Like, it's so hard to do a save in this for some reason. And that was bugging me. I was spinning out and spinning out and thinking like, wow, have I gotten worse at this? Is this something that maybe I'm not playing enough iRacing and I've gotten worse with this specifically? But no, I took a look at the car and I noticed that for some reason the steering wheel just does not turn properly. There are times where you might as well take your controlling input and just throw it in the garbage, because I'm turning the steering wheel as far to the left as I can. The steering wheel of the car, you're looking at them and they're actually mostly straight. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I understand that there will be times that you get understeer, but nothing like this. I've never experienced anything like this in one of these more serious racing games in the past. And this like translates to just a really poor overall experience. If you're coming from something like iRacing, I would say that the racing quality in this game is probably about on par with one of the other games that I reviewed this year, which was the Tokyo Extreme Racer. With that game, again, it was more so of like a simcade, so it's not really a racing sim. I expected so much more from a game developed by the iRacing developer. They have such a great team backing it, and I expected this to be maybe not on par with iRacing, but I definitely needed it to be a lot better than what we have here. While as some of the things that I've already talked about may or may not get patched out in the future, which, side note, by the way, guys, the console launch of NASCAR 25, has had multiple patches. I think they're almost up to 10 patches on consoles. So I'm sure many of the things that I've complained about can be patched out. However, when it comes to the system that they developed, the mechanics that they developed for the racing itself, I don't think they're really going to be able to improve that too much. So what we have right now for a racing product, that's kind of what it's going to be. They can patch to fix internet connectivity issues. They can patch to fix any kind of menu issues that I've been kind of explaining. They can fix all that, but I don't think they're going to be able to fix and improve the quality of the racing in this game overall. What I'm talking about is the feedback, the way the car controls, all that kind of stuff. It's just, oh my God. I can't believe that I'm sitting here and just so disappointed with the way that NASCAR 25 is. This game to me had so much promise, because not only is it being developed by the developer for iRacing, but also just the fact that we have a cool NASCAR game that's focusing something similar to one of the big box sports games, one of the more mainstream type of sports games, or you get a full season, you have all the drivers, you got all that cool sort of EA stuff going on, EA sports game stuff going on, but it's done by iRacing. To me, that was just phenomenal. That was the perfect setup for the perfect NASCAR game that I could have wanted. And unfortunately, we just didn't get that. And to take it a step further, for those of you that pay attention to this channel, I just did another fast look, and that was on F1 25, an EA sports game, and that is probably maybe like 5 or 6 months old, so maybe they've patched a couple of things. But when I compare NASCAR 25 to F1 25, it is night and day. I mean, even just visually, but the racing, the visuals, all of it is so much smoother in Formula 1 25, F1 25. It's kind of like hard for me to recommend NASCAR 25 over F1 25 if somebody just wants to get one of these bigger, more mainstream racing sports games. Now, while I am ranting and raving, I have to search deep down to find at least a little bit of optimism for this. There are some positives. Like I said, it is cool that NASCAR, after a period of time of not having a great, more mainstream type of sports game where you get all the drivers, you get all the teams, and you get to do like a season-long fight for a championship type of mode, it's nice that that's back. If that's what you want, you can still get that here, but it may be lacking in a lot of polish that you were expecting. Again, especially if you played something like F1 25, like I just did. I will say, though, I am enjoying the online. I'm going to try to get some online footage in here. It certainly is what I would consider a wreck fest, but I like the online modes. I went into this thinking that not having yellow flags or pit stops for like every online race, it might be something that I'm going to look back to iRacing proper and think, oh, wow, well, iRacing is such a better version of this. But it's actually kind of refreshing to just jump into a lobby, and within a minute, you're racing, provided there's enough people in the lobby. But within like a minute, you're on the track and you're ready to go. You don't have to wait for any kind of parade laps, nothing like that. And also any kind of yellow flags, you skip those. It's nice. I've had some fun moments online already. I'm not gonna lie. So the online itself is pretty decent. I like also that when players get some kind of penalty, or they're just driving erratically, or they're hitting a lot of people, they will end up ghosting, so you just can drive through them. I also really like the customization mode. In general, the game with the graphic design looks pretty good. I do think the menus are kind of bland, and I also think that sometimes the menu in the background being like a transparent sizzle reel of IRL NASCAR clips gets a little bit much, especially if I'm sitting in a lobby and then there's all this action flashing behind. That's a little hard to look at. But graphic design wise, car customization is really cool. I actually feel like the car customization works a little bit better than it does in iRacing, a tiny bit. Except that here you can't get full customization. So if you wanted to bring a full PDF file and bring it into this game that's fully customized, you can't do that. But the basic type of customization, where you pick pre-designed patterns, you pick all of your decals and you put them around, I enjoy that a little bit more than the iRacing version. And last but not least, for my very limited time of playing the more campaign-focused type of mode, it seems like they created a couple of elements to keep the player's interest. You start off, you're playing in the Arcus series, and you have to prove your worth by jumping 10 spots to get a top 10 finish, and that's how you can advance. And they create these little challenges, and they also put in like a fake Dale Jr. download. That's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast. They put a fake podcast into this to kind of build up the story and build up the stakes and tensions and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool, I guess. I do like when we see real-life NASCAR clips and stuff. So, all that aside, this is an unfortunate video to make. I really wish that this was a 10-minute video of me just saying, boom, the driving feels great. Customization options are fantastic. The season-long playoff is phenomenal. All the options, the online is great. I think I don't even need to play iRacing anymore. I'm just going to be going NASCAR 25 whenever I get a chance to jump on the sim rig. That's what I'm going to do. But unfortunately, no, it's just I can't say that. There's so much wrong with NASCAR 25. And yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to be another person that's jumping on that bandwagon of really being negative towards this, but it's got to be said. iRacing needs to do better. I'm definitely well past the refund point for this game for Steam, so I guess nothing I could do with that, but I will stick it out. Hopefully, by the next time I get a chance to play this game, hopefully by the next chance I get to play NASCAR 25, things will have improved. Maybe they could throw out a couple of patches. They gotta fix some of these things. But I will continue to play this. I definitely want to do that season mode. The online is chaotic as hell, but it's pretty fun, actually. And yeah, hopefully part of my negative experience with the feedback and the wheel and the way the car control, hopefully there's something I can deep dive into the menu and fix that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this. You'll definitely see me racing online. I really hope that some of you out there that are playing this game had a better experience than I do. But I'm sure many of you are also noticing some of the flaws in this. iRacing, please fix some of these things. I really want to like this game. I don't want to wait till NASCAR 26. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I do stream multiple times per week. Also, make sure to check out our YouTube channel if you like variety content. That's Two Stupid Gamers. All of the links are in the description below. And yeah, I will definitely play this game a little bit more and maybe give you guys an update at some point. Maybe I could review a future patch. Who knows? Let me know in the comment if that's a video you'd like to see. Anyway, I'm Mesh the Stampede. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.